Welcome to the podcast A World in a Word. I'm Sonie Thakkar and my world is full of words. This podcast shares stories about perspectives on human life and also brings to you people who make a difference in the world. In this series of podcasts, we have Rushabh Turakhia, and here I want to share his world with you. Welcome to the podcast, Rushabh Turakhia.
Thank you so much, Sonie.
Before we go into what you do, Rushabh, we of course knew that you go around doing acts of kindness. You look out for people who need help, particularly financial help. But really, this is not common. And what really makes you do this?
So, as you know, I run this movement called Your Turn Now, and it's all about doing a random act of kindness on a daily basis. So, during the lockdown, everything was like my lecture stopped, the kindness workshop stopped, and the random act of kindness was difficult to go out and do it on the road. That's when I realized that there are many people on the road, vendors, senior citizens, who are struggling to meet their ends. And that was the reason that I got a call from an aunt in the US, and she said, "Why don't you do something for them?" And I think she messaged me at 6 in the morning, and 9 o'clock I was on the road looking for that one senior citizen who's a vendor on the road, and if possible, if I can help them in any small little way. So that's the way it got started.
But Rushabh, you have started this long before the lockdown, 2009 if I remember correctly?
Yes, Your Turn Now started 2009, where in fact if you say why Your Turn Now started, it is seeing too much unkindness around.
Yeah.
People are too busy to be helpful to anyone. People don't have time to spare that 1 second or even that 5 minutes for someone who has just fallen down from the train. This made me think that we humans are actually mankind. Man's supposed to be kind, and we've lost it. In this rat race, we've been running around making money, following our passions, but we've forgotten that this is something which is inbuilt. So I started the movement to just tap those values back and make everyone remember that you need to be kind.
So to take this further and to know what makes Rushabh Turakhia tick, the man inside, the first time you started, your first step outside in the streets, and the first time you gave money away, tell us about that story.
Oh my God, the first story was about this old lady, and so in India we have this Gai Wali. So this lady who sits with the cow and we feed grass. So it's like you earn lots of punya if you feed cows.
Yeah.
So I will feed them grass or laddus made. So my dad has been giving her 100 rupees every single day, to feed the cow. So after he passed away, we stopped doing that, but my wife still continued doing it. So I went to her because during the lockdown for 2 years almost nobody went. I mean, we didn't go to her because we were stuck at home. So I went and started speaking to her. And that's when she said, that how during the lockdown, and she doesn't have a husband. She's only son. He's little mentally he's challenged, not completely challenged, but she knows that he's not going to work. And so he also sits with her. The only thing is whenever a car passes by, he gets up and takes the money and feeds the cow. When I started talking to her and realized that how bad the lockdown was and how they have survived on donations received from the nearby NGO or the food given by the Good Samaritans who have been doing all this during the lockdown period. And when I started speaking to her, it was like, so, and I found, she loves to talk, but then nobody stops.
Nobody listens.
Nobody listens. So, it was like, you're standing there, okay, give me that 10 rupees ka, 20 rupees ka grass, and I want to feed the cow, and you just move.
But the first time you were talking about your father, and the first time you went, your first time. Person that you helped, was it while your father was still there?
No, he was not.
Okay.
But she remembered us because then she remembered, so she remembered that I always used to drive. My father used to sit next to me, and my brother used to sit behind. So she remembered that, and till date now whenever
Right.
now once a week my brother
Right.
gives her.
Right.
So now every week when she does, she recognizes me, and then so while I was talking to her, eventually I gave her the money and asking what she's going to do about it, and she's like, no, this is going for my ration card.
But that's a very important point you brought up, Rushabh. Every time I've been sharing about what you do with my friends, or when we are talking about this podcast, one big question that I'm often asked, and let's address it today. When you are giving people the cash, do you track what they do, or how do you verify that this is going to be put to good use?
Okay, so for me, it is when I have given it, it's gone to them. I don't need to keep track of it. But yes, when I'm talking to them, I make sure that they are not into drinking, they're not into gambling. So I know that money is going to the right place. Plus, when I'm talking to them, say maybe sometimes I talk to them for 15 minutes, sometimes like 45 minutes, they don't know that I am going to give them money. There's no, I mean, they are taken aback when I give them the money. I go and listen to their stories. So while you're listening to the stories, you come to know that how genuine the person is, what is the pain he's going through, or what all problems are there in his life. And that's when you know that if I give him the money, it might go to a right cause, it might be useful for either their kids' education or maybe for their medical expenses or something or other. For them, that, you know, it's like, even for your, if you open your old denim, right, and if I find that 100 rupee note, you'll be happy.
Absolutely. Yes.
Even if it's 100 rupees.
Yes.
So just imagine for giving them more than, like, much more than what they earn in the whole month.
Yes.
That's for them, it's a lottery.
I'm going to come at you from a different angle now. Your family is big time into the diamond business, I believe. Wholesale?
Wholesale
right?
diamonds.
Wholesale diamonds. This doesn't match at all. A family business into wholesale diamonds, and here is this young man who just wants to give money away.
So yes, many people tell me, it's like complete extreme. It's like coming from the world of luxury to the completely different world where even your needs are not met. So I think, I think it's been ages and years I've been listening economists talking about, equality or the sharing of wealth or sharing of income, or at least getting the parity should be close, but it's not happening. In fact, it's widening. If you see, like, almost like 5 or 10% of the world's population owns 60 to 70% of the world's wealth. So that's going to increase with the way the world is growing. But by giving this little bit amount, I know it's not going to make huge difference, but for that person, yes, it can make that difference for that day or for that month or maybe for life. Because sometimes it also changes the perception. It's not just the money, it's the perception that this can also happen. I have seen many times when I have given them the money, and there would be some other people, customers who are buying from them, and I was seeing them, they giving them away for something for free, or giving them something for just like that, or maybe they're not bargaining with them. So kindness rubs on in a positive way.
Yeah. Let me come from another angle before we wind up. You know what's a snowball? And as the snowball rolls, it grows bigger and bigger. What I see you as, you have set a snowball in motion. If other snowballs like you want to continue and join this mission in whatever way they can, what can they do?
In fact, I would be happy if they replicate this thing in every area possible, because this is something which everybody needs to do it. Like, I know there are people, I have my friends or the people who are following me on Facebook or on Instagram, they've done little bit in their, like, I've got a story from US, I got a story from within Mumbai also, I got a story from Gujarat also, where people have, after reading these stories, they have done that one deed on their birthday or just like that, because they got inspired with the story. So I want this to happen everywhere, and it's not that it's my idea, it's no one's idea, it is something we need to do it. I would want people to do this and go out, and you will find so many people who need actually that money. who need that, even if sometimes not money, who need those years. Like I know I've spoken to old people who are like, they have spoken for more than 45 minutes. I've just heard them, listening to them, to their stories, understanding their whole life struggle since they were 5-year-old to now they're 85. Just imagine I'm listening to their 80-year story, and even that matters because for them there's no one to listen to.
You know, we were just chatting before we started about the fact that kindness doesn't sell, and I think we have also discussed this earlier. What really keeps you going then?
What really keeps me going, I think maybe I got into this world for that purpose.
You feel it's your personal mission?
It's not my personal mission, it's a mission for everyone. It's a mission where we need to be aware that this is something which is for what everybody was born for. The kindness has to be there, the compassion has to be there, because then you can actually see a better world. Otherwise you just see wars and poverty.
Well, that's a point, because I think that's well said. It's a mission for all of us. And just as we wind up, what exactly is the little blue card?
The little blue card is the card which you need to pass on to someone when you are kind to them. Like you doing a small X, this card, your turn now, or in Hindi it says ab aapki bari. So this is the card, you give it to someone when you are kind to them, saying it's your turn now, you do it ahead and let's take this mission, let's make this world a better place. The kindness shouldn't just stop with me, it should go to other people too.
And to get these cards, there are the contact numbers. Which will appear on our screen also.
If you Google about it, and one important thing, these cards are for free. So you call for this card, there are no courier charges, no card charges, but yes, it comes with the condition: when I send you 10 cards, you need to do 10 acts of kindness, pass on the card, and then call for more cards. It's very simple. That's how you spread the word.
Absolutely.
That's how you spread the message of kindness. I think majority of religion says it. It's we who need to follow it and put into practice.
But you know what's interesting is that yes, kindness needs to be a regular habit rather. But sometimes in today's hectic life, we need a tangible reminder. We need something to remind us that we need to be kind, or in our hectic, fast-paced life, we need to constantly have either a visual or a tangible reminder that there's some part of humanity which still needs to be kept alive. We need to put in those efforts and then collect all the blessings like Rushabh is collecting. Thank you, Rushabh Turakhia. It was absolutely wonderful to know, as I said earlier, the man behind the mission, which has always been the purpose of such a podcast.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us on A World in a Word.
It's your turn now.
Your turn now. You find these stories interesting? Then like, share and subscribe.